Welcome back to the Local Explorers channel. This is our first reaction video. The only reason we're doing it this way is with diving, it's hard to explain underwater while we're breathing out of compressed tanks. Anyways, we're going to start the video now. This is the Georgian Bay Explorer that will be on this boat. Typically it takes us to 3 wrecks, but on this specific day the water was a little choppy, so we got to only do the one. We'll explain it as we go and we'll start the video.
We're here now at the spot.
That's at Cedar Point, past La Fontaine up in Ontario. The ferry to Christian Island shows up there. There's the Georgian Explorer there. I love that.
Most likely emergency that we could have is somebody accidentally falling overboard. They take a life ring, there's one on either side of the wheelhouse right by the door, and you throw it towards the person. Now we'll already be long gone, but it gives us a point of reference to come back to. When we're on the wrecks, typical entry is a giant stride through these side gates here, and when you come back, the stairs will be down at the back. Take your pins off, pass them to me. Are you recording me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Captain Steve Wallace didn't like that. So as you can see, the boat's got lots of room for everybody to get ready. It's one of the reasons I love this excursion. That's me getting into the water. Who's already in there?
Malachi.
That's Malachi there? Yeah.
There's a lot of people and they're quite nice, all of them.
So the 3 of us dove. Beckham got to snorkel on top. So you'll see that a few times.
Because the shipwreck is around 40 feet deep and I won't see it. But I'm going on to the shallower ones.
They're back from their dive already. But we got lots of footage underwater. Who's there on the left?
That's me.
That's Kaiden?
Yeah.
On the far right, I'm not sure who that is. I'm in the bottom right, closer to the camera.
And I'm recording.
And we're heading towards our first wreck. There I am. This is the Marquette. This is a schooner that's about 139 feet long. Built in 1856 and it was sunk in 1867. Nobody died. It only had a load of corn on it, but it's a big boat. It's down around 40 feet. Most of our dive for the day was at 35 feet. We sort of swam the perimeter and inside.
There's a lot of bass in this video. Some whitefish as well.
These are all trophy bass. It's hard to get a scale on them, but for some reason these are the ones that aren't biting when you go fishing. Even though the wrecks there, we spent more time looking at the fish. That's the bow of the boat. Not sure what all the pieces there are called, but a lot of this wreck has been pilfered, so there's not a lot left. Today, a lot of divers know to leave things alone on the wreck. But not in bad condition considering it's almost 200 years old.
Really?
Yeah. Crazy, eh? The footage we have here is a combination of Malachi, Kaiden, and my own. So you'll hear different breathing.
My breathing will be the rushed one.
There I am there. Trying to get footage. The hull is all covered in mussels of different kinds, mostly zebra mussels, but there's a few other types there as well. You can see the fish love it. It becomes like a natural reef almost. There's a whitefish there going over the top.
Look at all the whitefish going in now.
Oh yeah. That line there has an anchor on it. I don't know if we got a good shot of the anchor. There's 2 anchors still there.
Is that one of them?
Yep, that's one of the anchors. Hear that rattling? That's somebody with a little rattle trying to get their dive buddy's attention, but it carries through the water pretty good. Wasn't one of us though. Here's, who's that? Malachi?
Titan.
Oh, that was Titan. Twins.
And I think that's you.
Yeah, lots of bad dive form here. I apologize for that. My regulator should be clipped to a D-ring up here, but I was being lazy because I was handling the camera as well. Please don't critique us on our methods. Again, back at the bow of the boat. Look at all the whitefish, eh? And bass. The inside of the boat was deeper than around the hull, eh?
Yeah.
Because all the sand's washed up to the hull. I love chasing the bass. They all have a personality of their own, like puppies would. Some like to play, some come and check you out. But the funny thing is if you start following one, and then you stop, they'll actually come back to find out where you went. They actually like playing. They're very playful fish.
There's me waving.
My boys kite into Malachi, they're 14, Beckham's 11, so I encourage anybody if they're into diving, get their kids into it as soon as they can.
34 feet.
We spent a lot of time on this wreck, eh? I think it was like a 40-minute dive.
Yeah. And there's me trying to dive backwards to record my dad and Malachi.
Typically you don't touch things, but I wanted to see where this chain went. See all the muscles there.
And look what's underneath.
Look at the whitefish.
They kind of look like an Asian
I
carp.
think this is my footage here, right?
Yeah, from the side.
Because I got close up to him a little bit.
On my GoPro, it looked like there's only one, but there's a ton of them behind there.
Oh yeah, there's 3 right there.
They kind of look like Asian
It's a
carps.
Yeah, I'm calling them whitefish and I might have that wrong. If somebody wants to correct me, feel free. I have no certificate in marine biology. I just like watching them. So that shot actually gives you a good vantage point of the outside of the hull, which is higher up, and on the other side of the hull, it's deeper. Just because over the years, the sand is washed up against it. Kind of shows you over time, these wrecks get covered. It takes a good storm surge to expose them again, but this one's been exposed for a while. The first time it was found, it was actually it was located for the first time in 1975, and for 10 years it was called the Hope Island Wreck. And then it was established in the 1980s that this was actually the Marquette.
First dive is done, but that's still my dad and my 2 brothers that have to come back up.
That's us coming up the lazy line. Signaling okay when we got to the top. Just standard practice.
And just like that, we're done the first out of the third
They
dive.
came back.
Yeah. The captain does a good job of deciding where to go. It's hard to see in the video, but there's actually a little bit of swell happening, so we couldn't get on to 2 of the other wrecks.
On sunken houseboat, try to find it, and we're also going to just go for a free dive. Ready to go?
I think this was the free dive, right? We decided just to... The last time we went on this, we also went to the Maple Dawn and the Michigan, but they're so shallow that he couldn't get the boat close enough to it with the swell without risking the boat. So, who's jumping in there now?
Titan.
That's Kaiden, yeah.
I'm going in last, as you can see.
I'm the one with the black fins. Malachi has yellow fins, and our dad has white.
Oh, okay.
when he pushed me, I knew I was gonna
The
go.
dive captain just pushed back
then
on
he
me.
pushed me.
I was going to go and then he pushed me.
So this was just a shallower dive, just burning off tanks, but it was fun. I don't think we saw too much on this dive though, did we? You can see the shadow of the boat above our heads there. You gotta watch when the swell's good, that you don't get too close to the boat, because you can rise and fall the height of the swells 3-4 feet and knock you out. This is Beckham's perspective on top of us, so you can kind of see the depth we're at. We're fairly shallow. I think we're only 7 to 10 feet here.
Not much longer I'll be with you guys down there. Hopefully.
Yeah. Get you down there soon.
Those bubbles just rocket to the top and expand like crazy fast.
They almost look like jellyfish.
Yeah, they do, don't they? That's funny, actually.
When I went on top of them, when the bubbles hit me, it felt kind of weird, like if someone was tickling me everywhere, but...
Pretty good form. Only been diving for 2 years.
Yeah.
You're pretty close to the bottom and you're not kicking up the silt. Pretty proud of that.
I was gonna say we didn't see anything, so we were going back the other way to check that out.
Yeah, this was just to burn off a couple of tanks to get a dive in. You see Beckham's feet without fins.
I was gonna wear them, but they're not that comfortable on me. They're too tight.
Yeah, we're working on our form. We don't claim to be the best divers, but we have fun doing it.
Yeah.
I love the look of the water from underneath. Here's Beckham. Yeah. Like a lost puppy following us. We actually got lots of your footage, eh, Beckham?
Yeah.
You hear that thump, 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 thump. That's Beckham kicking. When we're down at the bottom, we can hear that on top, which I always, that's how I know Beckham's nearby. I don't have to look, I just hear thump, 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 thump. Yeah, so as you can see, not much on the bottom. I think we found a broken clay mug here. Yep. Great find of the day.
Later in this video, we find a crayfish.
We were gonna wrap it up and re-gift it.
That looks like a flower pot we have anyways.
You guys gave it to me, but I was too far away from the boat, so I just threw it back down.
Normally I kick with a frog kick. I'm not there. Only because my boys are left and right of me, and I always felt like I was close to kicking them. So
That's our fault.
no, it's no big deal. Either way, it's fine.
He's trying to catch up.
We're not in the cave. You hear that thunk, 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 thunk.
Yeah, when I turned around the camera, I stopped moving, and then I turned it around and saw you guys were too far, so I started going faster.
It actually made me laugh every time I heard it. There's a log in the middle of nowhere. Decided to sink. And behind it, it looks like tire tracks. We couldn't figure that out.
It still confuses us.
It's if anyone can tell us what that is, let us know.
We saw one fish that whole dive.
Could be the aliens. Alien tracks. Nope, there's a bass in the distance. Being timid.
That's probably the only one we saw the entire dive.
On that dive, yeah, I think so. Just clearing my mask. That's from laughing every time I heard Beckham above us.
There's me again, Malachi showing me.
I was saying there's 3 of us because
I called the dive here at this point. Ted and Malachi went out on their own with Beckham, but I was starting to feel dizzy for some reason. I'm not sure why. Anytime you're not feeling well, get out of the water. But Kaiden and Malachi are open water certified, so they are okay on their own, and I could see where they were from the boat. And I think the maximum depth here was 10 to 12 feet. Yeah, so...
Wasn't that bad.
No, easy dive.
I like the color of the water. It's not like full of silt.
Georgian Bay water is beautiful. It's cold. Mind you, that day it was pretty good. It was, I can look at my dive computer here.
I was trying to get Malachi's attention, but he didn't really know that I was doing that because he couldn't see me, so...
I just want to see what the temperature was that day, actually. It was August 4th, right?
yeah.
So this is our second dive. I got to a maximum depth of 10 feet, average feet 8 feet, so I have a hard time even calling this a dive. 24 degrees Celsius, that water. Maximum 26. It's bath water.
Yeah.
That's why we don't have hoods on for this dive. There's Beckham.
You'd be shocked at how easy it is to overheat in the wetsuit.
See, there's the ladder. Now we're in shallow water. Actually, I'll pause it here. When you're underneath it, you got to be careful because the boat rises and falls, and you can actually be knocked out by the ladder itself. Malachi taking the risk.
The current was taking me. I was trying to go on the right side of it.
It's monkey bars.
You think you're under control until you get close to a boat, and then you realize you're bouncing pretty good. But it's a nice dive boat. He drops the ladder to get you in faster.
Third dive.
We're getting ready for our third dive here. Now this one was kind of neat.
So, they're doing 3 dives today. They've already done 2. This is the last one for the 2. This one and the very first one was very choppy. Like the waves, like the current was strong, and it's like I could do like a shipwreck, but it'd be like
I didn't realize I was doing
so I won't be
that.
able to see them. The one dive it was shallow and the waves were not bad like you saw, so that's why I went on that one. So kind of my dad will be recording the other 2 dives.
Oh, there's the bass.
This dive here is full of piles of rocks and bass.
We generally try not to touch bottom, but in between the piles of rocks, you notice I set down a few times. That's just because I wanted the bass to approach me a little bit. Sometimes when you're night diving, you can actually get close enough to a bass. The light from your torch actually stuns them a little bit. And depending on their personality, you can actually pretty near pet most of them. And twice I've been on night dives where I was actually able to pet a bass, only because it was sort of stunned by the light and not moving. In the daylight like this, they'll never let you do that. But I wanted to see how close we could get. These rocks, another thing I'll put out there, we're not sure what piled them up. I'm not sure if the ice in the winter does this,
Yeah.
or were these dumped off a barge to protect a shoreline? I'm not sure.
I doubt it's the current.
Yeah, I don't know. They don't look like they belong there. I got the feeling they were pushed by a barge.
What's that?
Or dumped by a barge, I should say.
What's a barge?
A barge?
Yeah.
A flat boat, like a...
Oh.
Getting kind of close to the bass.
Since
Sorry if we lose our audience on this one, but we all of us love spending time with the wildlife more than anything. There's a lot of personality in them, eh?
Yeah.
Since I wasn't able to go on the first and third dive, I was talking to the captain a lot, and he has little lawn chairs, and we sat at the front of the boat, and he said he likes when the boat rocks the most, and especially when the chair almost not falls over.
Captain Steve Wallace. These bass, I mean, they can go anywhere, but they're actually choosing to be around us, which is kind of neat. These rock piles are full of crayfish too. But you can see visibility in Georgian Bay. I'm not sure what I'd say this visibility is at maybe 80 feet, 100 tops.
Yeah.
But for Canadian water, that's incredible. This dive, we actually went down to 35 feet. We swam away from those rock piles for a while and dove down. Just enough, we felt a little bit of a thermocline, eh?
Yeah.
But there was nothing down there besides silt and weeds, so we turned around.
The thermocline can hit really quickly. I didn't expect it was going to hit that fast.
See, in this bottom, I'm not sure if you can actually really tell, but there's 42 feet. It's like a green algae coating the bottom there, and it looks like a thin, flaky lettuce almost, and it just covers the floor. That last shot showed it. Oh, here's a crayfish. But you can see him in the weeds there, ready to take a bite.
It's two little
In a
eyeballs.
few seconds, he's just going to swim away really fast.
They bolt backwards.
Kind of like
It's not really nice of us to harass him like that. There he goes.
I don't even think I can swim that fast.
Now we're heading back up. This dive, we were an hour and 6 minutes underwater there. Nice long dive. You'll notice Kite and Malachi are diving with back mount tanks, 80 cubic centimeter aluminum tanks. I've got 2 steel 100s on me. In this type of diving, you don't need side mount equipment. That's what I'm diving, is side mount. That's what it's called. I tried it down in Florida and love it. It helps you stay nice and trim, nice and horizontal. But I also like having the redundant air when I'm diving with my boys. At these depths, there's really nothing too serious that could happen. But just in case, and I like just using it all the time to get used to it. I've got a few different configurations, but side mount's my favorite so far. There's some nice waste.
Looks like it's part of an engine.
Hydraulic oil bucket.
looks like if we couldn't see the letters, it almost looks like an oil bucket for.
See, these bass just don't want to leave us alone. Right when we thought we'd swim away from them, they were right on our tail.
I don't know if you guys saw it, but on the second dive, like the free dive, there was one bass that I was watching the whole time. I don't think you guys saw it at all, but it came up and started following me, but then it went back down when I looked at it again.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They're very aware of where your eyes are looking. They're very intelligent, actually, surprisingly.
I don't know if we've mentioned it in this video, but they're a lot like dogs.
Yeah. Some play, some are aggressive, some are curious, some come up and sniff you. They've all got their own little personalities. And their own little texture too. You'll notice the side of them all have a different pattern to them. I'd almost want to know if those were like fingerprints, unique to each one. You'd almost think so.
A lot of these fish are about 14-15 inches long, the bass.
Yeah, good sized bass. So I'm set down right on the bottom there. That's only because I wanted to see if I could get them to come right up to me.
We went fishing before and we actually caught one of these. I felt bad for eating it after scuba diving and seeing how playful they are.
What I like about bass mostly is like my dad already said they're really playful, but also I think I've caught one before and they're just,
Yeah, you've caught a couple bass.
yeah, they just love, like, they're aggressive when you catch them, and they just love to pull.
There's your dangling SPG. So like I say, don't knock us for our technique. That should be clipped up against your BCD, but this, what was this, your 11th dive?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's okay. You can critique me more. I'm over 800 dives, but I'm still making mistakes. Minor ones, very minor. Laziness.
I wonder how long those rocks have been there for.
Yeah, and what put them there? That's what I'd like to know.
Maybe one day there was a really bad storm and it just took them all because nowhere else you don't barely see any rocks.
You see those little bits floating in the water, that's just debris and sand and algae and all kinds of stuff, but that's what normally takes away from your visibility. Georgian Bay just is very clear. And the bass just won't leave us alone. Not sure whose footage is whose, eh?
Yeah.
We all had GoPros down there. Beckham, were you snorkeling on top of us here?
No.
So you only did that on the one dive?
I could have, because when you can see the top from there, I could have seen that far.
I think there were about 15 to 18 feet deep.
I could have seen you there, but I forget why I didn't
It was
go.
a bit choppy, I think.
Yeah.
That was Beckham's first time on the Georgian Explorer. Normally they don't take people like that. We paid for a full spot for him so he could join us. I wanted him to get used to the dive boat with us, but he was able to snorkel on top when he felt like it. Normally it's divers only. It's a nice day though. They pick you up 8 o'clock in the morning from Cedar Point, which is exactly where the island to Christian Island, the ferry to Christian Island picks you up. They dock there, load up your gear and go, and you're gone until 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. He provides lunch. He's got snacks and drinks there. It's nice. I think he's got water too, right? He's got everything.
Yeah.
His lunch was really good.
Yeah. Oh, dangling SPG again.
This was our second time on the Georgian Bay Dive Explorer, and both days somehow happened to be sunny. We didn't get any bad weather, nothing.
Yeah, both. Yeah, you're right. This was in August 4th, I think, right? Yeah. So there I am touching bottom again. Technically a no-no, but I'm not going to hurt anything on sand. There's no coral, there's no weeds.
But there could be something under the
The
sand.
bass wants to be curious, but he's very aware of where I am.
He knows you're looking.
Yeah, they watch to see where you're looking. Dan, he'll look you right in the face too. He's checking me out.
I was gonna say, with their name, the local explorers, it's almost like we include the animals because they're always exploring us as well.
The area we're diving here is all around Hope Island. The wrecks that he takes us to are around Hope Island, Beckwith Island, and Christian Island, all out in Georgian Bay.
Was that another crayfish or was that one dead?
That was a dead one. Rest in peace. Yeah. I could stare at this type of footage all day. I apologize if I'm boring our viewers.
We had to crop a lot of our footage down. We usually do, though.
How many hours of footage did we have?
4?
4 hours?
Yeah.
That's not that bad.
So we could have done that to you.
We crammed it down to about half an hour.
I think that's the end of her, eh?
Yeah.
It was a good day. You can see clear skies, and the seas calmed down. It's kind of a shame we didn't get to do one of the other 2 wrecks, but that's okay. I don't mind just burning off a tank in Georgian Bay.
I think why we pulled over like closer to land like that is because the current was really bad that day, and same with the waves, so they were massive
We just
swell
finished
there.
the 3rd dive, so now we're just boating back to the dock, and then that's it for today.
Always a fun day on the Georgian Explorer.
We're on the way back now, which is sad. I don't know what time it is, so.
I didn't have a watch or a phone on me.
All of the divers are very friendly there.
Yeah.
Dive boats are always a good time.
Yeah, you never feel left out.
No, and everybody becomes quick friends on the boat. You lose contact after the dive, but that's okay. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. We'll be posting a few more. I'm sure we're going to have some shorts, but thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and we'll see you again.
Bye.
Bye. Was the mouse working better?
Stop
after?
recording the GoPro.
Oh.